family member, and it was probably not Cleophas, but someone called Simeon bar Cleophas. And we know for a fact, and we'll see in Eusebius now, that Simeon bar Cleophas is in fact Jesus' cousin and the second successor to Jesus in the church in Palestine after James is killed. So that would make sense that that was an appearance to the leaders of the church in Palestine. Cleophas, meaning Simeon bar Cleophas, and the unnamed other is James, the one they don't want to mention what his name was because it's too disconcerting and it deflects attention from the plot line of the Gospel of Luke. So I think there is originally an appearance to James in the Gospel of Luke that would back up this thing I'm talking about in terms of which of the interpolation parts of this testimony you consider to be an interpolation. I don't know if I've gone too fast, but the point is that something to think about. I don't expect you to have a final answer or even understand it. Just be wrestling with it for your own benefit, not for mine. Quickly, before you go, let's just look at this last one. We have here, and I'll take questions about this next time. I wanted to get up to here anyway. We have here an extremely interesting event. The conversion of King Agabus or Abgarus. Depending on these Semitic names were often communicated in confusion, and just like Bush says nuclear instead of nuclear, whether he knows it or he doesn't know it, does it on purpose or not. This Agba or Abga, Westerners would confuse Middle Eastern languages like that. So we don't know if it's Agabus or Abgarus. Most sources call him Abgarus. This source calls it Agabus. In any case, there's a whole thing of his conversion to Christianity that is given here at the end of Book 1. And the apostles involved, if you notice, are Thomas and Thaddeus. And this is also in the city of Edessa. We actually have a letter supposedly written, and another character appears here called Ananias. As we go through this, we find out that in fact Judas is called Thomas, even in this, so we're really getting pretty good historical material there. If you go across the answer of Jesus here to Agabus, 45 of my book, I don't know what it is in the Penguin book, but look at this. Judas called Thomas, sent Thaddeus the apostle. So here he is already called Judas Thomas. So I urge you to look at that, digest that material, bring in questions about it. We'll talk about it next time. And then we will move on into the second part of this Eusebius Part 2, which is very important for our purposes. And then after all that, we'll do an exam at some point, but that won't be for about 3 or 4 more weeks.